Yogi, come onto your hands and your knees. Spread into your fingers, ground through your palms, drawing energy into the arms and the shoulders back from the ears. Your first movement is into dog tilt as you lift your tail, hollow the lower back and open the heart. Your second movement is into cat tilt as you scoop the tailbone under, rounding your back to look into the navel. Weave these two postures together on the flow of your breath as you release the tension from along your spine. From your final dog tilt, use an exhalation to take your buttocks back towards your heels in baby pose. Chest melts towards thighs and forehead towards the floor. Use each inhalation to lengthen the back of the body from the tailbone to the fingertips, and each exhalation to surrender towards the earth. From baby pose, our next movement is into cobra, bringing the hips forward on the inhalation and then releasing them towards the earth on the exhalation. Use your feeling intuition and your intelligence to work the tension free in your lower back, using movements in your hips to serve this. As your lower back releases, then you can begin to use your inhalations to push down through the palms, roll the shoulders back and open the heart. Our next movement is from cobra into downward facing dog, tucking the toes under and exhaling the hips up into the air, looking between the feet. Remember to bend your knees a little to release the hamstrings so that you can use your breath to push down into the spread of your fingers and up into your sit bones to lengthen your spine and release between the shoulder blades. We are now warm and ready for the practice of Shakti Kriya 1. 4 movements coordinated with the breath, beginning with dog tilt on the inhalation, baby pose on the exhalation, cobra pose on the inhalation, and downward dog on the exhalation. As you continue to practice this for another round, try to weave the postures onto the thread of your breath. From the final down dog of your Shakti Kriya, you can take a walk forward to the front of your mat, placing your feet hip-width apart and parallel. Bend your knees a little and allow your spine to passively drape. See what you can do to find your breath inside of the pose. From this place of let go, you can begin to deepen the posture by lifting into dog tilt on the inhalation and then stretching into the legs and bowing your spine into the exhalation. Allow your posture to be gradually progressive, using the waves of the breath to deepen into the pose. Now from your final bow, you can begin a journey up into standing. Do this by coming up like a rag doll. Have a sense of leaving your old body on the floor as you rise into your new skin. Fill this skin out with your energy, your breath, and your awareness. We're now ready for the practice of Surya Namaskar, the sun salutation. With an inhale, bring your hands to your heart, and with an exhale, take a bow to yourself and the sun. First movement is an arm raise as you inhale, looking to the thumbs. Second movement forward bend as you exhale. Third movement is right leg to lunge, inhaling to lift the chest and look skyward. Fourth movement is downward dog, exhaling. Fifth movement, dog tilt, lifting the heart to look up. Sixth movement, baby pose, exhaling. Seventh movement, cobra pose, inhaling. Eighth movement, downward dog, exhaling. Ninth movement, launches the right foot into lunge, inhaling to look up. 10th movement is forward bend, exhaling. 11th movement is the arm raise, looking to the thumbs. And 12th movement brings us back to our start position at the heart. Now the 12 movements on the left side of the body. Arms raise, inhale. Forward bend, exhale. Left leg to lunge, inhale. Downward dog, exhale. Dog tilt, inhale. Baby pose, exhale. Cobra, inhale. Downward dog, exhale. Left leg into lunge, inhale. Forward bend, exhale. Arm raise, inhale. And returning to start position at the heart, exhale. Now if you'd like to continue to practice some more rounds of sun salutation, then you can press pause here and then rejoin when you finish your sun salutation. Now for the triangle pose. Turn sideways on your mat and bring your hands to your heart in honor of your warrior. It will be an inhalation to step the feet lunge distance apart, bringing the arms out to the sides parallel to the floor. The exhalation then turns the feet for triangle, left foot in 60 degrees, front foot 90. With an inhalation, fill up your whole body with breath, and then on the exhale descend into triangle, placing your right hand appropriately on your right leg. Grounding through your feet, draw your legs straight, lifting your left hip bone to open your belly and your chest. Widen the wingspan of your arms and gaze up to your left hand thumb. Imagine that you're leaning your left shoulder blade into an imaginary wall just behind you, so that the underside of your ribs aligns with your leading thigh. To come out of the pose, inhale and sweep the left arm to bring you back up into your standing position. Again, fill the body with the inhalation and then use the exhalation to come down into triangle. Again, land the hand appropriately on either your shin or your ankle, and then use your inhalations to open your body, straightening into your legs, lifting your right hip, opening your chest and spreading out through your arms. Your gaze is now upon your right hand thumb. To come out of the pose, the top arm does a big loop to swing over your head in order to stand up, and then the exhale steps the feet back together and the hands return to the heart. Take a moment now to absorb the effects of your triangle pose. To come to our next posture, the swan pose, we will travel through the sun salutation flow. So turning to the head of your mat, bring your hands to your heart in the prayer position, and then we flow through sun salutation, raising the arms on the inhalation, forward bending on the exhale, right leg stepping back into lunge on the inhale, and sweeping to downward dog on an exhale. This is where we link into the swan. We do this by bringing the right knee forward to the floor beside our right thumb, hooking the right heel across the body so that it sits underneath the left hip bone. Take your time here to connect to your breath and allow your hip to settle. When you get your inner cue, you can begin to bow your chest forward over your leading thigh. Continuing to breathe slowly and deeply, according to your body's capacity. You can begin to stretch the body out, lengthening between the left big toe and the crown of the head. After a couple of breaths, you can bring the hands back beside your leading knee and use them on an inhale to lift your heart up, and then an exhale to sweep back into downward dog. You can then change the sides, bringing your left knee forward to your left thumb, hooking the left heel across the body to sit underneath the right hip, and then slowly settling down into your hips. Again, connect with your breath, and then slowly bow yourself forward. Inhalations create length and stretch between your back foot and the crown of your head, and the exhalations allow for the release in the hip. After a couple of breaths, again bring your hands back beside your leading knee, and with a push into your palms, use the inhalation to raise your heart, and an exhalation to again sweep back into downward dog, where you can walk the effects of the swan pose out of your legs. Our next movement takes us onto our back for the bridge pose. So from downward dog, you can come forwards to the head of your mat into a cross-legged position, and from there roll onto your back, hugging your knees into your body and feeling the ground underneath you. Now for bridge pose, place the feet on the floor with the knees bent, bringing the heels in close to the buttocks. Have the feet and the knees hip-width apart, and then use your inhalation to slowly raise your spine off of the ground. As you do this, draw your shoulders in and underneath you, so that with each inhalation, the hips and the belly lift, and the chest moves towards the chin. Enjoy the back bend for a breath or two. And then allow the exhalation to bring your spine back to the ground. Once you're down, bring your knees into your body and hug your thighs into your chest to release the back bend. And then crossing your ankles, grab your big toes and roll yourself up to seated. The neck is now warmed and prepared for the practice of shoulder stand. You can access shoulder stand by simply rolling back from cross-legged onto your shoulders, bending your knees towards your forehead, shuffling your shoulder blades in and underneath you, And with the support of your hands on your lower back, you can then stretch the legs up and into the air. Do what you can now to find a breath slightly deeper than normal. Shoulder stand has the effect of reversing the usual flow of energy in the body. This in turn rejuvenates and restores the whole of the system after the vigors of the yoga practice. To roll out of shoulder stand, simply bend your knees towards your forehead, cross your ankles, put your arms on the floor to act like brakes, and then slowly roll yourself up into a cross-legged seated posture. The counter posture for the shoulder stand is fish pose. We come into this by resting down onto our elbows, pressing our thumbs into our lower back. You can have your legs crossed, or alternatively you can stretch your legs out in front of you. And then lifting into your sternum with an inhale, release your neck back with the exhalation. This acts as a counter stretch on the neck. Breathe slowly and deeply into your chest. After a couple of breaths, raise yourself back up on an inhale for the final posture of the spinal twist. Take your right foot and place it over the outside of your left knee, interlacing your fingers around the shin and collapsing your spine. Then with an inhalation, draw your spine up straight, and with an exhalation, turn to the right, wrapping your left elbow around your lifted shin. Your right fingertips come behind the body to support the straightness of your spine. With each inhalation, let your spine grow, stretching out through your straight left leg, and then the exhalation, twist as you gaze over your right shoulder, wringing the spinal muscles and the abdominal organs out. Practice this for a couple of breaths, squeezing the tension out of the spine. To come to the other side of the twist, stretch your legs back out, then take your left foot over your right knee and collapse your spine. The inhalation once again extends the spine, and the exhale turns, this time to the left. The inhalation then grounds the buttocks, lifting the spine and the chest, and the exhalation turns into the twist as you gaze over your left shoulder. After a couple of breaths on this side, again return the legs straight out in front of the body. Then pull them into a cross-legged seat. And with an exhale, bow forward. This is our way to make a final offering of our practice. And to take a bow to ourselves for our endeavour in the practice. We now take Shavasana, our final relaxation posture, for the practice of double breathing. In double breathing, we inhale through the nostrils and exhale out of the mouth, using the abdomen as a pump. relax into energized stillness.